Welcome everybody to Funeral Nation episode 205. I'm Ryan Thalgmartin. That is Jeff, the funeral commander, Harbison. And we've got two esteemed special guests today, Anthony Kaniuk and Troy Blewett from NFDA. And we're going to be talking all things NFDA Expo and Convention virtual for 2020.
We may be the largest insurance assignment company in the funeral profession, but that doesn't mean we've lost touch with our roots. Here in Rainbow City, Alabama, our priorities still come down to a welcoming smile and a handshake that says we keep our promises. With all the tools and technologies that assure blazing fast turnaround, what really matters is much more old school. Personal responsibility, integrity, relationships, and the pride that comes from hearing yet another client say, "You came through for us when it mattered." C&J eliminates the challenges that funeral homes have in processing insurance death claims. If cash flow is vital to your business, welcome home.
Welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We're looking forward to it.
So guys, to get us kicked off here, why don't you share what you do for the organization?
Sure. I'm Troy Blewett. I'm the Senior VP of Communications. So everything from marketing to PR to research to websites, that's what we do. And we're working with Anthony, coordinating the virtual convention. Anthony?
I'm Anthony Kaniuk. I'm the Director of Industry Relations here at NFDA now. So I really my team handles all the business development for the convention and for all of our sponsorships and exhibitors.
Well, one of the many things, I'm going to miss is trying to chase you down, Anthony, on your cart on the floor, because it's always something I got to find you for. We got to do this. We got to find it. So I'm going to miss that. It'd be wonderful if you can have some sort of background when you're sitting on a cart and having, having your microphone.
I will have to find a microphone and a card so I can put that up there as a virtual.
I think so, because it's not a convention unless you're doing that, right? So guys, we've got something big coming along with the NFDA, the first virtual conference. We have to do that because our world has changed. Why don't you start off by sharing with us exactly how that's going to happen, and we'll kind of go from there.
Sure. So beginning on the Tuesday, the 20th of October, we'll have 2.5 days of a virtual platform where we'll try to recreate as much of a normal convention as we can, albeit in a virtual setting with a virtual platform. So we'll have keynotes, we'll have education sessions, we'll have a few networking and brainstorming kind of sessions. So we're going to try to do all we can. Kind of the rule of thumb virtual is do a third of what you normally do. You don't want to overpower people, but we're going to try to make it the best experience we can.
Excellent.
And that's the important piece. So one of the things you have to remember is that it is virtual. We're not replacing the on-site and the handshaking and the networking in that sense. But we are really putting our foot forward and really innovating and engaging people to do the things that you can do virtually now moving forward. Like having Zoom one-on-one conversations or multiple people in a room to do a demo. There is those opportunities still to do that.
Excellent. So we have a big headliner this year too, which I'm excited about. Will you guys talk about him a little bit?
Yeah, Simon Sinek with the Infinite Game is going to be our headliner on Tuesday, kicking off the show with the opening session, and he's fantastic. He's a great visionary leader and a person. I've read his book on the Infinite Game. It's a fantastic message about how we're all here for we're all here. We want to leave things better than we started with them. And let's not look at things finite. Let's not look at what Wall Street wants us to do or what the next quarter wants us to do. Let's look how we can grow our businesses, for the long run. And
there's no better person right now, I feel, in 2020 to give you the most optimistic view of the future.
Agreed. I don't disagree with you at all. Well, as with all NFDAs, when I just call it NFDA because when we do that, we automatically assume it's going to be the big convention and expo. So we'll have lots of opportunity for education as usual. How is that going to work?
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll have the ability to earn up to 9 CE credits in the 2.5 days. You can select from 18 different education sessions. They come in, there are 6 tracks, if you will, and you can select one each time. So you'll be able to do 6 that you can get CE credit with, as well as you get a CE credit for each of our 3 keynote speakers. So you can wrap up quite a bit in 2.5 days.
That's awesome. And of course, we'll have our supporting suppliers there. So they'll have, we talked about that prior to being on air here, if you will. Anthony, you share how that's going to work?
Yeah, well, you know, we got to thank Homesteaders, first of all. Homesteaders really let us bring Simon into the picture as a keynote speaker. So, I mean, our hats go off to, they're a great partner with us, and they have been over the last couple of years to bring those kind of keynote speakers with us. But, you know, with the booth selection and with the booth stuff, it's really great to actually have a virtual booth. With that booth, you're going to have 3 great opportunities to have a Zoom room where people can come in and actually physically see you one-on-one and talk to you like we're doing right now. There is also a chat feature in your booth where you can actually chat with people right away. There's another feature where you'll have up to 6 downloadable PDFs that they can download. So all in one frame. So that's really was our intuitive piece to picking our platform.
Right, and that's going to be exciting because that's always a big part, is visiting with friends and getting back with the vendors and, you know, current clients and prospective. How are we doing, or how are you guys doing with getting people to sign up for attendance?
It's been picking up over the last week or so. And I think as we get closer to the event, what we've kind of found and what others have found with virtual is that people no longer have to travel or make hotel reservations or flight reservations. So registration starts to get later and later. So, you know, we're hopeful that we'll continue to add people as the weeks go on.
And I think I'm hoping that people take this, you know, takes this opportunity to make it an advantage for their staff, right? This is a perfect opportunity for you because we always heard that when people come out of a session, when we're on site, it's like, oh, I wish my staff member so-and-so was here. Well, here's your opportunity. Here's your opportunity to have lunch, close off the arrangements room, put the sign up, hey, NFDA convention, have people pop in for sessions, have them be engaged. This is the perfect opportunity to do that.
I agree with you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Troy.
We've also, you know, we've tried to price this to make that happen. So, you know, the first person in is $149. Anyone else at your firm after that is $99. And so for the $99, you get the full CE credit. I mean, there's nothing that, you know, that you don't get there. And the other thing is that we should point out, yes, there's a set time frame to get CE credits and for the normal convention, but everything's available 24/7. So if you want to do one education session during one of the periods of 3, but the other 2 are still interesting to you, you can go back at any time and watch those other 2. And all of this will be open until the 31st of October. So you can go back, and you can't necessarily get CE credits when it's not live, but you can get the information and you can broaden your horizons by going back and seeing the other stuff.
Sure, and that in itself is worth attending.
Yeah.
Well, that's worth attending, but here's another thing that's worth attending and really getting involved and engaged. There's over $5,000 worth of prizes that are going to be given out by NFDA throughout this whole period. That's just us. That's not including some of the other prizes that the exhibitors are giving out. I could tell you, for example, on the Homesteader's Life, you have an opportunity to win a Peloton bike. I mean, that's a huge prize when you're thinking about it. So there's a lot of opportunity there for you to come away a big winner.
That's
I'm with you.
Awesome.
And speaking of doing virtually, you know, one of the parts that we miss is the social aspect. And so as you guys have probably seen, and I'll go ahead and throw a shameless plug out here for C&J Financial, but on Tuesday night, we're going to have a cigar party, the first Zoom cigar party with our group. We're going to give out a couple cigars, a cutter, some other swag. but we just started sign-ups this week, and it's going really well. People are really excited about it because that's something that we miss is the gathering. And
Absolutely.
I think the big headline is going to be Wednesday night with Vicky Amato, Doug Gober's wife. She is a magical performer. That's open to everybody. It's free. And so if we can't get to New Orleans, I think that we've stepped up from a company standpoint at C&J, and also sponsoring that with us as foresight for Vicky, to at least have something that we may have missed. So you're right.
Well, don't forget,
look at about a third of what we had.
don't forget, you are raising money though. You are raising money for the foundation. So that's another great plus for you guys to help out future students. By the way, if you go to the foundation, students can actually get a scholarship to actually come to the convention.
Exactly. So it should be, it's interesting. We're in a different time now. In fact, all four of us are in different areas where we're talking to each other. So it seems like technology says, hey, you can do this. You just have to figure out how to make it work.
Right.
And
Yeah. And again, people can't get, I'm going to say this because I know a lot of people out there are getting frustrated with technology. The people that are getting frustrated have to relax a little bit and actually embrace it right now, because that's all you have. So again, this has sped us up probably 2 or 3 years in the technology realm, especially in our industry. I mean, let's face it, I know you, Ryan, and I know you, Jeff, pretty well. So you guys know people that are pushing the forefront, right? So when you always do something new like that, there are always going to be those naysayers. Oh, this is so horrible to try to do this. No, this is something new. This is something that we want to try, and you should be able to do it yourself.
what was interesting is that we were thrust into it. It wasn't something that NFDA or any of the other organizations or any of us says, okay, we're just going to shut off the valve and go virtual. This has thrust us forward into it. From my perspective, I don't think this is the last one. I think we'll see some hybrids before it's over. I was just reading about a university talking about their spring classes. It's going to be a hybrid again. There may be, I think the future looks bright, but it looks a lot different than what we have right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at the workforce, right? I mean, they're saying the workforce is not going to come back the way at offices like it used to be. I mean, look at Ryan. Ryan has all his staff all over the United States right now. So again, do they have this? That's really great from a standpoint of looking at the ability of finding somebody really well to help out. You don't have to go to a big city anymore to find those type of people, right? You can actually find people to work with you right now, right here.
Well, I think kind of a trend of this conversation, you've said the word a couple of times, Anthony, has been opportunity. And I think there's a lot of opportunity from a work perspective. If we're looking at the conference, there's an opportunity to do things differently where maybe people connect better in this realm. Maybe it's it can be intimidating coming to your first NFDA conference with thousands of people in one room. Maybe this is a way that you can have better one-on-one conversations with exhibitors. And so there's a lot of opportunity. And I think NFDA has done a fantastic job at like embracing this. I mean, Jeff says it all the time. This is the Super Bowl event of funeral service. And hats off to both of you and your teams and everyone at NFDA that's been, you didn't plan for this to happen a year ago. This has been in the last few months that it's had to come down to this and what platform to use, how to make it valuable for exhibitors. So I just think there's a lot of opportunity. We can sit and complain. We can, again, throw our hands up in the air and say, why do we have to do this way? Or we can go, okay, there's an opportunity here to get creative and do things a little bit different. And I think from the exhibitor perspective, that's a lot of where my attention goes just with our company. I mean, this year it's been different for brands in the death care space without any conferences. It's so relationship driven. And if you didn't have a great online presence leading into this, it's been hard to just kind of cannonball in and start learning how to make connections. So, there's a great opportunity here from the exhibitor perspective to provide some value to attendees that maybe couldn't have been provided. I couldn't have printed out thousands of PDF downloads that would be valuable for people to take physically when they come to a booth. But the opportunity to have 6 or 7 different valuable PDF downloads that can actually be action items after the conference where someone can come and get some educational things that they can work through with their entire team when they leave the virtual conference, there's opportunity there. There's value. So, I read a quote this morning, and I know, Anthony, you do a lot of personal development, and you and I are in a lot of the same circles and read a lot of the same things, but, joy is a choice, and we can be really pissed about everything that's going on, or we can choose to be happy and embrace it and say, this is where we're at right now, and we got to make the most of it. And I think that, that's really been the perspective of a lot of people looking at just funeral service in general over the last 6 months. It is real easy to just go stand in the corner and pout, and we just can't do it. So there's opportunity, and we got to go get it.
And that was one of the reasons why to look at Simon, right? Simon talks a lot about opportunity, talks a lot about optimism. But you know what? This year, like you said, I worked on a lot of personal development. And one of the things that I really concentrated on this year was mindset, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody has a mindset. Again, it goes back to how you want to use it. It goes back to that joy, right, Ryan? So again, right. I think it's all mindset for some people.
Oh, certainly go ahead. I'm sorry, Troy.
I'm sorry. I was just saying, look, I think we all appreciate the serendipity that happens when you're at a live show, where you run into someone in the hallway that you haven't seen. Maybe you end up doing business with them. You learn some new things about them. But, that, as we've all been talking about, isn't the reality. But what we do need to embrace is we've created a few areas. I applaud C&J and Foresight for doing their virtual social hours, if you will. We've incorporated a few things right into this platform. Every speaker, including the keynotes, will have live Q&A. So, again, you'll have to embrace chat, but you can at least interact with them. And in fact, it's not only the keynotes, it's every single speaker. So every education session, there are Q&As. We've also created some, what I would call interactive break lounges, where some of them are educational, some of them are entertainment. But again, all of them give you an opportunity to go into a room with your colleagues. And it's not the same as being there in person, but with a mindset change, you can get things out of it, and you can do a little bit to further your relationships.
Exactly. And I think that's the theme of this year. Change your mind, change your heart, choose joy. Here we are. Let's just go do this thing. Well, guys, we're excited that this is coming up. It's the Super Bowl. It'll be interesting this year. Remember this conversation, what the Super Bowl will look like, right? So guess what, folks? The Super Bowl is going to be different too this year. So whether you like it or not, we're here. And I think, Ryan, you had a wonderful quote there that choose joy. Be happy about it, embrace it, learn from it, take what you can, and incorporate into your business and for your community. It's not that hard.
That's right. That's right.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for being here. Sorry, Ryan, I guess I jumped on the bandwagon there.
No,
thank you guys for being here. We're excited, and we're only a few weeks away. If they have any questions, you can always go to the NFDA website. Students, as Anthony mentioned earlier, you can go to the foundation, sign up. You got to, if you don't attend, maybe we should have you on here for a reason why you don't. Okay? There's just no excuse not to.
No excuse.
Absolutely.
Excellent. All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Have a great effing week.
You too.
Out here.